Welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, this time of year, guys, the sun is out. It's getting hot in LA. I'm sure it's hot in Virginia. It reminds me of going away to summer camp.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, our daughter is enrolled in one of the few summer camps that are actually open, but with limited children that they can have here. And I got a chance to speak with an individual to talk about doing summer camp from home. This is interesting. With summer break officially here, summer camps are still not open to full capacity. But our next guest, Catherine Newman's new book, How to Be a Person, actually led two parents to create a common sense camp. Now, this is what teaches their kids the basic life skills while quarantining. So welcome to the show, Catherine. How are you today?
Thank you so much. I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I am doing great. And as I can see, you are definitely an accomplished young lady. I mean, author, excuse me, an author, a blogger, just to name a few, and with your new book, you seem to understand that camps keep kids occupied as well as teaching them valuable life skills. So the idea of missing camp is obviously a huge loss for parents and kids. But how do you get kids to buy into the recreation of summer camp experience at home?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's funny because a couple months ago, I was selling people on the idea that kids could really use the downtime. But the truth is, kids have had a fair amount of downtime at this point. So I think figure out what makes camp special. What were your kids looking forward to? This is what I really think is the starting place. Sit down with them, ask them what they were excited about, grieve the losses. There are losses, and we can honor those losses even during a pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you're not going to get to make lanyards with your friends. That's really hard. Maybe we could make lanyards at home. Kids are weirdly easy to please. It could turn out they were looking forward to like the little bags of chips that came in their lunch. Like you could get those, you know what I mean? Like you could make it happen. So I feel like figure out what they were excited about, figure out what they like to do. Remember that it's not school. We're not in Zoom school anymore. We're now transitioning to a pretend summer that we're pulling out of our, heads. And then, do they want to have a little bit of a theme? Could you have a week of Alicia Keys camp where they learn to play an Alicia Keys song on the piano? They read part of her book. What could you do that would really engage them in a topic? And I think for a lot of kids, that's great. For some kids, that's going to be too much, and that's fine. They can lie around the living room with a, Lego catalog camp, but like my kids always had.
Well, it's interesting, Catherine. Like, how can we actually replicate kids being independent at a pandemic home camp?
Because I know. So here's what I think. So I had kids home for home camp for many summers. Mm-hmm. Here's the key. This is really the key. If they're having fun, leave them alone. Okay, just don't involve yourself. Even unless they're like eating dirt or compost or something. Right. Leave them alone and make sure they're making their own lunch, because there is nothing to suck up your time as a parent who's trying to work at home. We're all trying to work at home now. Right. The kids are home. It's 11. They're like, when's lunch? No, you're going to teach them how to make lunch. I'm showing my book here, How to Be a Person.
Yes.
You give it to them. They can make a quesadilla. They can make a grilled cheese sandwich. They can boil a pot of ramen. They will, by the end of the summer, know how to make some simple meals, and you will not be interrupted every 5 seconds to make lunch.
Absolutely. And, I know what my wife and I have done with our daughter, like, she's learned how to wash dishes and everything. So we are definitely utilizing a lot of these type of tips. Now, as far as your kids at home and, and you being at work, like, how do you balance that out, trying to still work virtually from home while your kids are at home?
It's really, really hard. And I just feel like parents are a little bit screwed right now. I think that there are ground rules for one thing, that when you're working, you can't be interrupted unless it's an actual bleeding emergency. Someone like cut their arm off, then they can interrupt you. But I also feel like you can say to them, I wish I could spend more time with you. I know it sounds so corny, but it's so meaningful to them. You can say, you got to help me with this. You got to make it work.
Absolutely. Well, I know your book, How to Be a Person, is if it's not a top seller, it is soon going to be, because of this pandemic, because it definitely, lists out all those things. Real quick before we go, how can people get in contact with you for more information?
I have a website. It's katherinenewmanwriter.com, and there's a contact form and also just a straight up email address. Anyone is always welcome. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all the things.
Absolutely. I can see learning from a person like you is so easy because you have so much energy. And thank you so much again, Catherine, for taking your time to be with us today.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Awesome. You have a blessed rest of the week.
You too.